LTA, what up? What up? Let's talk about it. You know how we do this. Your boy Doe coming back with another loose topic. You see where we at? Okay. Yeah. I want to talk about two different videos. One video is Queens Flip. If you're not familiar with him, he's a YouTuber out of Queens, New York, and he has a podcast. Talk to different. He has multiple platforms, I should say. But he's talking to a guy out of Texas that's a motivational speaker, or a mental health, I guess you would call him a specialist. He gets paid for it. He has a title. Um, he's out of Texas. His name is Charleston White. He's been making a lot of noise on the internet recently because he had a few incidents where he got to, I guess, get into it with cats on YouTube or wherever, out of some kind of internet platform, and after they barked back, then he threatened to call the police. Or I guess he did. I guess he pressed charges. Now in his mind, he's saying, right thing to do. He's a licensed gun. He's a licensed gun carrier. So if you do make a threat against somebody, if I'm a licensed gun owner, carrier, and you make threats to me off social media, and I go down to the police station and file a report, they have a record of you harassing me, bullying me, intimidating me. And if we see each other in real life and I have to defend myself and shoot you, then that gives me, it gives me some kind of, defense, some kind of, defense in the court of law. That is, this dude was messing with me. You see, I went and told the police, the authorities, that this person or these people was bothering me. I seen him. I protected myself. I laid him down. That helps you in your case, in your defense case, in the court of law. That's fine. Things he's doing is fine. What he got going on is cool. I like, what I've seen so far, what I heard so far as his organizations go and where they're headed and what they're trying to do, them helping people and stuff of that nature. I'm with that. My only thing is about his approach is it's a few things. First of all, he's blaming all black people for being a certain way. It was a 13-year-old kid that got caught into some kind of altercation, and he told on some people because his mom told him to or something of that nature. I don't know the full details on that, but that just happened kind of recently, and the 13-year-old kid, I guess, was getting dragged through the internet for telling, and he's like, you can't hold no street laws, no street codes on a 13-year-old kid. So my problem with that is this. Me being a level-headed person, I see where he's coming from. As far as, the kid's 13. His mama told him to do what he had to do to protect his freedom and blah, blah, blah. So he went with that. Being level-headed, I get it. I get the fact of he's 13, man. He's a kid. His brain ain't all the way developed. He's been brainwashed. He's been hoodwinked, whatever. I could get that. At the same time, though, we can't just let him off the hook, flat out off the hook, talking about he's a kid. 1993, I got put on the hood, is what we call it. Got jumped to a game in 1993. I was 12 years old. Couple months, I believe, off of turning 13. Well, I turned 13 in February. I believe I got put on like November, December, something of that nature. So we had codes. We couldn't do certain things. We couldn't mess with people that wasn't in gangs. Like far as we couldn't go beat up people that wasn't in gangs. Did it happen? Yeah, it happened here and there, but it's nothing we could go back to what we call the hood, our neighborhood, or where we hung out at. We couldn't go back and tell them we jumped on no 50-year-old man for no reason. And once again, has it happened before? Yeah, being kids, you do stupid stuff. When you 11, 12, 13, you do stupid stuff, but we couldn't go back and brag about it. That's my point. So the people that was around us, they held us to a certain standard. If you skip school, don't be hanging out right on the block because truancy officers, back then it was truancy officers. So now you're making a block hot. Go into a building, to a spot. Now, they tried as far as that goes. Like, don't be on block because we don't want the block out. We don't want the police here because we can't make the money. Now, if you went to a spot or whatever, it's like, hey, man, you know what? He's young. He's 13, 12 years old, 14. He's young, but if this is what he chooses to do, this is what he chooses to do. It just got to be some kind of standards and rules and laws to it. Hanging outside without even just, $100, at least $100 in your pocket. You know, you couldn't do that. Get some money. If you out here, what you out here for no reason for, get some money. You know what I mean? Um, Stuff like that. So there was principles, there was rules, there was some kind of codes. Now, once again, I do understand the boy's 13. The boy's a little boy. He got caught in the jam. A lot of us get into shit not knowing what we get into. Majority of us do. We're just getting into it because that's our friends. That's what we find as family. So we all get misguided. A lot of us be misguided, undecided. You know what I mean? But you still chose that role. So you do have some responsibilities to that role. You feel me? I'm not saying go kill the 13-year-old boy because I'm level headed. I could think a little bit for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying go kill the little boy because of what he did. No, I'm not saying that. I'm level headed. But if we're talking codes and gangs, you're in a gang, you got to follow the code. So if the little boy did snitch after whatever crime they committed, because like I said, I'm not aware of the full details on that case, the 13-year-old boy case. But if he put himself in that gang, click whatever you want to call it, and they go commit a crime, and the pressure gets applied to him, and it busts a pipe, we can't just say, "Oh, he's 13, he gets a pass." We can't say that. Now, I'm not wishing no harm on no 13-year-old kid or whatever, but I'm just saying, be mindful then. Don't join the game, and you don't have to live by them rules. Everything has codes and rules. You go to work, they're going to say, majority of places that you work at anyway, restaurant, for example, they're going to say hairnets for the most part. Majority of them will say hairnets. Like that's the standard code. It's supposed to be hairnets. Gloves at all time. That's the rule. You work, whatever. Post office. You might have IDs that you got to slide into the door to get in and all that. And it's protocols. There's rules. There's regulations to everything. In your household, you're going to let your 5-year-old kid call you a bitch, mom or dad, or any adult, or even his siblings or her siblings. You going to let the 5-year-old call somebody a bitch in the house? It's rules and codes to everything. I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying, no, I agree with the codes. I'm not saying me personally, I'd be the one to be, oh, go do something to that boy. I'm not saying that. But if somebody did do something to him and he did hold himself to, he put himself in that gang and he's supposed to live by the gang rules, then if he violate them rules, what you you gotta be honest. Once again, I'm level headed, so I wouldn't mind or care if he got a pass. That'd be fine. But he can't go back and do it again. He can't go back to be in the hood and the gangs and the streets again. No. If you go now, you gotta get out and stay out. Once you see that ain't for you, you gotta get out and stay out. So that was my one um approach to that, to the Charleston white cat. That's my, first approach to that. Second is him himself. I guess he done got into a few incidents with people, and when they applied the pressure, he talking about he'll tell. He's a licensed gun carrier, so he's like, well, if you threaten me on the internet, I'll go file a police report, and if I see you in real life and had to shoot you or whatever, do something to you, then, that's my defense in the court of law. I told y'all this person was threatening me. I went and made a report. Bam. I seen him, and this is the results of me seeing him. I laid him down. I told y'all he was messing with me. I went and filed a report. Cool. That's good strategy, far as Once again, that's his code. Once again, that's what I mean. That's his code. He figured out how to. If I got to defend myself, what I got to do is get ahead of the game and beat them at their own game. So what I do is follow the police report because you threatened me. Now, if I see you, I could lay you down and say self-defense and have evidence, paper trail of me saying what happened. Oh, by the way, did I tell? 2021. Yeah. Um, what they say, new year, new me, right? But I'm not. But yeah, so it's the paper trail. It's the covering up your tracks. You know what I'm saying? It's smart. Now, do I agree with the technique? Not not really, to a certain extent. Now, if you're inviting violence, if you are provoking people and stuff of that nature, then I don't agree with that. You can't be calling people pussy this, pussy that, bitch this, bitch that. You bitch ass niggas don't know the code. Y'all don't know this. Y'all don't know this. Y'all don't know that. So, you know, you can't you can't do that. You cannot talk tough or be inviting violence, but then want to call the police, then want to involve the authorities. No, if anything, what you do is you address your problems that you have. Like, okay, I don't agree with y'all messing with that 13-year-old kid. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's no stand up man thing. That's what he could say and then leave it at that. All that old man, fuck you motherfuckers. If y'all think y'all going after that 13-year-old boy, y'all some cowards, y'all some pussies. And if you're cussing people out and you're going at people, then you should expect for somebody to take offense. Now, if you what you're saying ain't necessarily wrong, yes, it don't got to automatically be asserting. Like, you could be level headed and be like, okay, well, that 13-year-old kid committed a crime. He didn't know what he was getting into. He got into the gang, shit got real. He panicked. He didn't know what was going on. His mom told him to do this, or his parents told him to do this. Okay, cool. Sometimes you can say, okay, let him be. Let him go. Like I said, as long as he ain't trying to, participate in street stuff no more, let it go. Let it be. Fuck it. It is what it is. You take a loss in life if you on the level of the street shit. Whatever that is. Whoever he was involved with, whatever that was. They believe in whatever they are. They're claiming it. They're committing crimes off the name of it. So they believe in it. They have to, you know, be the ones that to be like, like, all right, we took that L. Fuck it. Let them go. Now, can you do that all the time? No, because then if you're playing by those rules, once again, if you're in that street life, if you're playing that game, you feel me? You got to honor it. You got to. Or why is you playing it? Or once you feel like or realize you're not built like that, get out. And once you do something, okay, so you say you snitch and you got out and you never dealt with it again. You didn't look back. Fine, that's good. At the same time, though, you still gotta own the jacket that you're wearing as being a snitch. Now, now back to dude though, back to Charleston as far as him go. You can't talk tough to people and be on some rah-rah and then say, I'm not a street dude, which he has, said that multiple times in this interview, which I'm gonna put the interview with Queen's Flip inside the description. You can't sit there and play tough, but then don't want to get down with the get down. You know, it's smart to cover your tracks by, um, following the police report if you're on the thought pattern of if I see him, I'm gonna shoot him, and then I have a defense in court. But on top of that, though, it could be avoided though. And if you're preaching change, if you're preaching positivity, you gotta know that you gotta figure out ways to get around yourself. Then if you're preaching change and positivity and all that, how do you meet drama with drama? Then you can't sit there and once something happened that you don't like, you sit there and threaten the people that did it or whatever. You can't say you bitch ass niggas, y'all ain't real. If it, you know, like no, as an activist or whatever term you want to call yourself, you got to handle things different than what you would have handled it if you're going to get authorities involved. That makes no sense. In that case, what you're supposed to do would be like, you're supposed to come in and say, hey man, what happened to that 13-year-old kid ain't cool, man. You know, we got to do better. This is what we got to do, y'all. You know, like you got to stay level headed. If once you get rah rah, then somebody else get rah rah, and now you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to the authorities. Please help me make sense of that. That makes no sense to me. You got to, if you're gonna be cool about it, be cool about it, and go send your message. You know, send your message. Hey y'all, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. Send your message. All that you bitch ass da 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 da. Unless you're gonna stand on it. If you're gonna be meaning fire with fire, then let that be what that is. You know what I'm talking about? Let that be what that is. So that's like somebody smacking an old lady, let's say, and I'm there, and I say, "Hey man, whatever bitch ass nigga smack that old lady, it's on." Or not even it's on. If I'm just sitting there screaming, "Hey, I don't like no mother," you know what I'm saying? Y'all cowards, y'all some suckers, y'all smack that woman, blah 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 blah, with all aggressively, and then somebody walk around the corner and say, well, I'm the one that smacked her. What's up? And then you turn around and run across the street because you see a police car, or you backpedal and you get on your phone and call the police. No, no, we can't. You can't be doing that. We can't have that. We can't allow that. Now, if you came there and was like, "Hey, man, this ain't cool. That old lady didn't deserve this. Y'all tripping. Why did somebody smack that old lady, y'all? What is that about?" You know what? I'm finna call the police right now, and hopefully it's somebody around here that's a witness that can help me get to the bottom of this, help me solve this. Cool, fine. That's what level you on. Cool, but you can't be walking up to the scene. You cowards. You this. You that. Y'all did this. You did that. And then sue somebody like, hey, yeah, what's up? And now you want to go run and tuck your tail and call the authorities? No, you can't come on rah rah and get met with rah rah and then backpedal. That's all I'm saying. So that's my two issues with him. Is that you cannot be on some rah rah, and then when rah rah happens, you want to backpedal, tuck you, pull out the political card or whatever the case may be. I'm not a street nigga. I'm a civilian. That's what we say. I'm not a street nigga. Okay, don't. That's fine. Don't be one. And then play the game the way you play it. Like you said, I don't have to. He said I don't have to live by y'all codes. That's fine. But don't don't meet aggression. Don't be all aggressive and yeah, and then when somebody meet that same energy, now it's backpedal. Come on, we got to stop that. I'm with what he's doing overall, though. Like far as everything he's doing, I'm with. Besides the gimmick part, he even said he had a certain persona on Facebook. On YouTube because he's seeing how the kids react. If the kids get in trouble at his center or whatever they have, the mom or dad come in and say, talk to the kids aggressive. The kids react to that. If you try to say something to them nice, they don't react off that. So he said, so he had to come up with a character, so to speak, to match the energy of what they understand, which is aggression and all that. That's fine and all that to a certain extent. Me personally, all that making up a character and all, teach his own. I mean, get it back, get it back. Who am I? I can't tell you what to do or how to do it. If you're getting it back from me, say he got $300,000 house paid for and all that, so he's getting it back from me. Say he's jumping out of Bentleys and stuff and Rolls Royces or whatever case may be. If you don't, that's how you gain your money. Get your money. I guess I'm just talking on what you're saying though. You can't meet aggression with aggression, then tuck your tail. But salute to him. Charleston White out of Texas. I don't know exactly what his title is, motivational speaker or something with the, he's building the community up. So salute to that. Salute to you for that, brother. But you cannot meet aggression with aggression and then tuck your tail. Then, as far as the code go, yes, there are codes. Do people have to honor them or whatever? No. Is it? Is the way the streets? And this ain't just a black thing. That's another thing. Like I said, he talking about, I hate you black people because y'all don't support until whatever, or or y'all believe it's not a black thing. The mafia killed kids too. Asian gangs, his kids been killed. White gangs, Aryan brothers, all that. No matter what race you are, if you do live by a certain code, you live by a certain code, and that's what you stand on. Is it right in society? If you know, like they say, in normal society, no, it's not right. But maybe these dudes or these people that follow these rules, who's to say what's normal and what's not normal? Just as a human being, killing somebody for no reason or for some reasons. I mean, if somebody touch your kids or something, there's a reason. I mean, you know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. But you know what I mean? Just senseless acts of violence and all that can be avoided, of course. Um, Gangs did start off right, then they got, infiltrated with drugs and stuff of that nature. We all know that. The government did all that too. We know that. So the unnecessary violence and stuff in gangs is stupid. But if we go back to the origins of gangs, of feeding your neighborhood, policing your neighborhood, stuff of that nature, I mean, I'm my brother's keeper and stuff, then it's righteous. So all I'm saying is you can't meet aggression with aggression, then backpedal. You can't, no matter how old you are, you can't join something, I don't care what it is, and wait until something bad happens to not, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you go to the army and you shoot a person's leg off, and you're like, yeah, then you go shoot another motherfucker, yeah. But then as soon as your leg gets shot off, you're like, oh, no, I don't want this no more. Go home. Go home. Did you scream and cry when you shot the other person's leg off? Did you scream and cry when you did that to them? So when it happens to you, now it's, oh, yeah. No, that's my problem with what he's talking about. You know, yes, 13 is a kid, yes, but you signed up for something. And sometimes a lot of us, once again, shit happens and we don't realize the extent of it and realize, oh, we in too deep. Let me get the fuck out of here. Okay, that's fine too. But in that case, deal with what you signed up with. If there is consequences, deal with it. Or don't look back if it ain't consequences. If it ain't consequences, you can't go back to doing what you was doing. You can't. I tell kids that my kids that period. Y'all fighting, y'all wrestling. You cool you beating when you're doing the beating up, you're beating a motherfucker up, you good. But as soon as the tables get turned and you get flipped in, get whooped on or whatever, now you talking about help. You can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And then, so you can't meet aggression with aggression. So all that old him on the internet calling people pussies and out their names and fuck them and all this and all that. That's fine, but then when they do it back, you can't tuck your tail and call the police and say, well, I'm making a report because if I see him and I kill him, then I have a defense. Yeah, it's smart as far as that goes, but come on, man. It's other ways to address the situation without being rah-rah. You could address the situation without being you this, you that, you this, and the third. There's ways to express your anger without flat out disrespecting nobody. And I'm not saying, that people shouldn't be called out. Yeah, call people out. That's fine. Call people out. That's fine. But there's ways to do it, is all I'm saying. And if you choose to do it the way you're doing it, then when somebody meets your same energy, don't backpedal or don't be pussyfooted, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So this is LTA. Holla at me.